Makara on the correlation between man and God. The physical makeup, otherwise known as the person, which is the lowest form of being, is a dense composition of energy. Thoughts are energies that have been given form to the unformed contents of consciousness. Emotions, otherwise known as energy in motion, are energies that have been given form. The same goes for sensations and dogmas. All are used as a form of communication and thus aid in our perseverance in the physical world. It is the invisible aspect of being that is wholly responsible for the animation of these energies. This aspect regulates all involuntary functions of the body, as well as the voluntary. It is thus the essence behind the compelling force that allows one to do. It is our true and only identity. Our freedom to declare or decide is a divine attribute that we share in and should be used in such a way to give back to nature. As a result, it is the determinations of man and how he manipulates the life force, or Holy Spirit, which has its roots within his formation of thoughts, emotions, sensations, and beliefs, that will either sustain or obliterate life on earth. Because the I, which is the self-indwelling, is enlightened already, everything that we learn is actually a reminder or a breakdown of what we already know. This invisible aspect of being is the source of all intuition and physical manifestations that we see before us. It is that which hears, that which sees. It is that which allows our person to experience all physical sensations. And although it is beyond most human acknowledgement, it can be experienced. This is the only way that one can actually know it. Knowing verifies existence. It is pure consciousness. It is all-knowing, omniscience. It is everywhere, omnipresent, and it can do all things, omnipotent. It is unlimited, and we share in it. It is the essence of being, of creation, totality, balance, harmony, and peace. It has the ability to be perceived as it perceives all things. It is truly perfection. This is the essence of knowing thyself. This is the essence of knowing God. Man's struggle is not a punishment, but a leading into the realization of his own divinity. God neither punishes, nor does he reward. We take the liberty of doing these things on our own through the misuse of divine free will. God just is, always has been, always will be. Its powers are within and await for simple recognition and appliance. There is no need to wait, and it makes very little sense to search outside of ourselves for that which is within. We add restriction to our own selves. If the mind has been liberated, there are no other actions that follow which will cease to liberate the physical. This allows us to fulfill the works of God. Thoughts become well defined as divine ideas begin to formulate, which will aid in the deliverance of mankind. There is no way that it can be avoided. The self is free and wants the same for all of its creation. How else can it express itself through the complex configuration of man? This exemplifies the order of Ma'at, the laws that govern the universe. It wants for us what itself is, freedom. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. If we compare the heavens to that of the subconscious, we will see that whichever thoughts we choose to give attention to will manifest itself on earth. Example, the body. Therefore, be sure to choose wisely when it comes to thoughts, and remember, one can always choose to ignore. The self is confined within the physical body. It is restricted by unstable forces within the existence of man. They are urging to stabilize. That which is unbalanced or opposed is simply an indication that equilibrium is very necessary. This plea for balance begins inherently and is manifested outwardly. seek at once to regulate these forces, for this is our purpose as a whole. This is undoubtedly the keys to our salvation. Peace, love, light, and oneness. Ma Kara.